Ooh, is that better? There we go. All right. First vlog. Just need to check if this lighting's all right. Oh, there we go. Okay, first vlog. We're going to be doing it in preparation for Hyrox Sydney. So I've got Hyrox Sydney in exactly 2 days. It's going to be Friday the 4th. It's going to be First Hyrox. I'm doing a men's singles open. So yeah, very, very excited, and I just want to take you along with me, talk about my thoughts and feelings going into it, talk a little bit about the preparation I've been doing in terms of training, in terms of mindset, and then I'll take the camera with us when we go to Sydney, get a few bits of content, and yeah, we'll have loads to go off there. So thoughts and feelings going into it. I'm feeling pretty confident, I can't lie. Probably one of the most confident I've been going into an event like this. I mean, I guess I'm my first Hyrox, so don't really have the right to feel confident, but just from the way that training's been going, from the way that preparation's been going, yeah, I've been absolutely loving it. And I guess one thing that's given me that confidence, this is the first time I've brought a coach on to help me with this type of thing. He's been doing all my coaching, helped me with all my preparation, and it's been a real game changer. I'm pretty sure he has the British world record for the Hyrox Men's Open, so couldn't really get anything better than that. And I think something that is really common, especially if you're someone like in the profession like me, which is personal training. It's really easy to want to be able to do your own programming and your own preparation. And that's all well and good, but if you haven't actually done that type of thing before, I reckon the best thing that you could do is go ask for help of someone who's already been there, which is exactly what I've done. And it's really offered us a new or fresh perspective on how to approach training, and especially for endurance events as well. We've been doing loads and loads of conditioning, and the approach that we've been taking when it comes to training is minimum effective dose for maximum output. And basically we've done a lot of slow, steady, long duration conditioning training. So 60, 70, 80, 120, 140 minute runs, just plodding zone 2, even less than that. Less emphasis on the strength training side of things. So I reckon I've only been doing 2 strength training sessions every single week, where we've got a main compound movement, usually a squat, deadlift, bench press, or strict barbell military press, 5 for 5 on them, and then a few accessory exercises, not too many. So that's been a bit different. I'm someone who's used to doing 3, 4 strength sessions every single week, but it's been interesting. It's short but sweet when I do them sessions. And then off the back of them too, you've got your Hyrox specific sessions. So a lot of rowing, a lot of skiing, a lot of simulations as well. You got half Hyrox sessions in there, usually every Saturday. Just getting used to running, going to a station, going back to running, going to another station. That's a little bit of compromise running as well. So making sure that you're going on these runs while your legs are a little bit more tired, just to see what it feels like. And yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. My fitness is probably the best it's ever been. Definitely the best it's ever been. Let's say that. I actually had a testing week before going into this week, which was really, really cool to see how far I've came in just a few months since I started this big training block. And especially going into the Hyrox week after, I PB'd on my 5K, so end up shaving, I think it was more than 30 seconds off. So I got a 19 minute and 4 seconds PB, 19 minute and 4 seconds 5K, which is fantastic. I got a 2K row PB, and I got a 2K ski PB. So we're PBing left, right and centre just before we jump into the Hyrox. So that's really cool, that's exciting. I was actually meant to do a Hyrox in November, December with my girlfriend Abby. We were going to do a doubles, but exactly 1 week before I'd done it, I was sparring, I threw a left hook and I completely ruptured my left distal bicep tendon. I don't know if you can still see the scar there, had to get surgery. So that was a bit of a nightmare. So this one, I'm coming into it with some vengeance. Yeah, I'm coming up with some fire because I want to do well on it. And I really do want to challenge myself and try and push for a good time. I'm going to try and aim for under 70 minutes. If I can get less than that, even better than that, fantastic. But I think that's going to be a really good target that I'm pretty sure I can do. Not feeling too nervous just yet. I'm pretty sure when we land in Sydney, all the nerves will start creeping up. I think we leave here tomorrow. It's Wednesday currently, so we leave Thursday afternoon. We're gonna drive to Brisbane Airport, fly over, Don't know what the flight time's going to be, but I can't imagine it being that long. Fly over to Sydney, land there, get to the Airbnb, settle in a little bit, probably have some good food, try and find a good Italian restaurant, have some pasta or something, and then get a good night's sleep. Pretty sure the start times for the men's single is 9:30 AM to 10:50, which is, or 9:50 to 10:30, that makes more sense. Not really changed anything when it comes to nutrition this time round. I've just been eating what I normally eat, which I find works best for me. I feel like if you start eating something that you're not used to, or a little bit more than something that you're not used to, you never know what the body's going to feel like the next day. You might get the shits, you might feel sick, you might feel dizzy. So I'm just eating normally. I suppose you could say I might be carb loading a little bit, but all I'm doing is having an extra bowl of oats in the night time. And then when it comes to preparation, when it comes to actually waking up on the Friday, probably just have my normal breakfast, a few eggs, a couple bits of sourdough, maybe a little bit of honey and a banana as well. But nothing too crazy. I don't really go overboard when it comes to carb loading. Main thing for me is gonna to make sure that I hydrate properly, because when I ran a marathon last month, exactly 100 meters away from the finish line, suffered from dehydration, and my mate had to come back and drag us over the finish line because I was all fucking delirious and end up in hospital. But that's enough of that. We're not going to talk about that because this is something else completely. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Feeling confident, feeling good going into it, and I will see you in Sydney. All right, good morning. It is officially Thursday. We're about to head off and jump on the flight to Sydney. Got Abby just finishing off all the ironing. And yeah, had some breakfast, having a cup of tea now. It's just a waiting game. Gonna tidy up the flat before we go.
Hey! On our way to the airport.
Could have been 30, could have been a G. Should've never snitched. Why you take it to police? Now they're looking at you funny when you're walking down the street, looking at you like food, trying to see where they can eat. Me, I'm like Wallow and Gilly with the game. You don't really want to act silly, behave. When I were on stage and the million gets made. I need that breeze. I feel sorry for Skepta, they copy these flow, but they say that it's a new flow. Imitation don't flatter me, but it's cool though. Should've ever left the guy alone in my studio. Put them in the coffin, get them on a tombstone. Yeah, I got a half of the price of a kudo. Living like a boss man, nothing like Hugo. I need that good price. When the plug turned pagan, tweaking, took an inflation piece is needed, getting impatient, blood, everybody getting complacent, leg, work, step on the pavement, victory lap, I'm back on the station, I'm really a psycho, Patrick Bateman, if you see her with me, she's taken.
White bitch on Depop, chillin', teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok, shawty did freelance, now she a freak, that should've never let that bitch alone with my seat, my style of bitch, skip it, poppin' in my Reeboks, talking about a detox, busy like a beatbox, top grown up, bitch, looking like Selena, I need that, white bitch on Depop, chillin', teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok, shawty did freelance, now she a freak, that should've never let that bitch alone with my seat, my style of bitch, skip it, poppin' in my Reeboks, talking about a detox, busy like a beatbox, top grown up, bitch, looking like Selena, I need that.
I smoke loud, but I never get lousy. Black Swan, Darren Aronofsky. Plug said he wants 16 for the pound, but I'm trying to get it under. Rack like Saudi. Iced out watch and my diamonds ain't cloudy. 4 rings never came with an Audi. Grills like Foreman. I put my money where my mouth is and I don't want to smile, just allow me. No new friends, I got mob ties. Where would I be without the guys, we get fly. Argue 1,000 times, you tell jokes till the tears come out your eyes. You know the haters hate when you're out of sight. I hear them say we sold out, yeah we sold out. Everything I said humble pie. One slice cut a man down to size. Like could have been 30, could have been a G. Should have never snitched. Why you talking to police? Now they're looking at you funny when you're walking down the street, looking at you like food, trying to see where they can eat. Me, I'm like Wallow and Gilly with the game. You don't really want to act silly, behave whenever on stage.
Right, what's happening? We are back in Brisbane. Just had a bit of a shave as well. I'm going to take you through the post Hyrox breakdown. I did get loads of footage while I was in Sydney. However, I put my camera on silent mode, thinking that the silent mode just meant that when you press the record button, it didn't make a little noise. And it turns out it doesn't record any noise whatsoever. So I've got a bunch of useless footage that I can't use of me talking before the morning of the race, and then my first initial thoughts after, which is a bit of a nightmare, but I'm new to this. I'm not gonna be too hard on myself, and I'll just talk through everything now. So, absolutely love the event, First Hyrox, and for my first one, I think I've done really well. Final time was 67 minutes and 52 seconds, so not bad at all. I would have loved to get 65, sub 65, but again, it's my first one. I really made an effort to stick to the pacings that my coach gave me, and I do feel like I had a lot more to give. There was a lot more in the tank, but I was just afraid that if I went out too hard at especially the early stations, then it might have hindered me. But I definitely, looking back now, probably could have pushed the runs if anything. So I'll do a little breakdown of everything. I'll put my split time somewhere across here, and we'll just run through every single one, basically how I was feeling on each station. So let's go through the runs first. I'm stuck to my pacings really well on the runs. I was actually quite surprised when I was looking back how good the split timings were. So run 1, 3:51, run 2, 3:56, then it was run 3, 3:54, run 4, 3:54, run 5, 3:59, run 6, 3:55, run 7, 3:57, and run 8 was 5:24. And the way that I guess if you were at the event, the way that Sydney was done is that one whole lap was a kilometre, which was really handy. I really like that layout. I know that sometimes it's 2 laps for 1k, which personally I've never done it, but I find that quite annoying that you've got to lap it around twice. But this just made the runs feel short. It felt like 1k. It felt really strong on these runs. Like I said, I feel like I could have went a little bit faster on them. I reckon if I was to do this again, or if it was just to look back in hindsight, maybe try and push for like 3:40s, maybe even 3:30s with the runs, because I did feel really strong. At no point during the runs did I feel like I was sprinting, did I feel like I was like emptying the gas tank. So that's a pretty good sign. Like I said, I was just sticking to the pacing, so you know, you live and you learn. I actually started right in the back of the tunnel because I knew that I was full of adrenaline, and I just wanted to try and pace myself a little bit, try and slow everything down so I wasn't setting off too quick. So I started right at the back of the tunnel. As soon as the gun said go, we all went off, and it was absolute chaos. I was like swerving in and out of people, trying to get out of the way. There was really slow people in the fast lane, which is a bit of a nightmare. But after I got past that first initial block of people, it was smooth sailing. Didn't really have to worry about anything after that. Going into the ski erg, I knew that I wanted to pace this one really well. There's no point in going off too hard on it. But again, it's probably one of those things that I could have went a little bit faster on. I was aiming for 4 minutes, and you got to remember when you do come in for each station, it counts you as soon as you go past the gate, so not actually when you start on the ski. So total time was 4:17. Going into station 2, the sled push, I got 2:08. Now, again, I reckon I could have went a little bit faster here. I was taking a little breather every half length, just to take 3 breaths and then go again. I think that was the right idea, but I reckon I probably could have pushed the sled a lot faster than what I did. You'll probably see on some of these videos I look like a bit of an idiot. I was getting really low because I heard that the new carpets lift up if you go too high, and so the sled would lift up. So I went really low, and I went low and then off to the side. So every time I was pushing the sled, it was like diverting on, and it nearly hit this other kid's track. So I reckon that slowed me down a little bit on there. But I'll tell you one thing, the run after that sled push was absolutely disgusting. And as soon as I finished that sled, my right leg was just like pumped up to fuck. And when I was trying to start that run again, I found myself like limping, trying to get it started. but I eventually got it, and that run wasn't too bad either. The sled pull was alright, so sled pull came around about 3:41. Again, it's one of those things, never done it before. Obviously I've trained it, but training and actually doing it were two completely different things. The big surprise for me when I was doing that one was how much you've got to take the slack out of the rope before pulling it. On that first initial pull, I grabbed the rope and pulled it, expecting the sled to move, and I just fell over. I completely fell over. So if you ever are doing the sled pull, make sure that you pull on the rope a little bit first, give it a little bit of a tug so the slack's taken out, and then you can start going for it. I was doing the technique where you completely bend your legs, then pull, then take a couple of steps back. Didn't really find it too much of a hassle to stay inside the box. But I reckon the most annoying thing is for them is when you've got the rope inside the box and you're trying to step over it while pulling the sled. That can be a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, all in all, 3:41, could have been a bit faster, but I'm not too arsed about it really. Then we came onto the burpee broad jumps. I got 3:46 for that. When I was doing the broad jumps, I thought I was going really, really slow. I wasn't having a break. I never rested on the bottom, I never rested on the top. But I just reckon coming back up, that sort of process was quite slow. Again, I was just trying to pace myself a little bit. I didn't want to knock myself out too much because in training, I noticed that my heart rate was peaking the most while I was doing the burpee broad jumps. So I was like, okay, I'll slow these down a little bit so I've got a little bit more gas for the runs. But again, looking back, probably could have jumped a little bit further. Could have done that process of down and up a little bit faster. 1,000-meter row. So this one is a bit of a weird one. I came into the row expecting to get a little bit of a rest, and this is the one where I really noticed everyone around me and my heat started to drop off a little bit. So completed the run, got on the row and set off for 2:50 pace, and I held it quite well and didn't really feel too fatigued. But when I look back at my Garmin and the stats on there, my heart rate actually peaked at 220 on the row machine, which is absolutely crazy when I look back. Didn't feel fatigued on it. I felt like I got a little bit of a rest. But yeah, it was really interesting. I seen this one lad that was running in my heat, and he was a really, really strong runner. Must have been around about 20 meters out in front of me through the entire race. But then when we started rowing, I seen him drop off loads, started slowing down, and I actually ended up finishing before him and then didn't see him again for the entire race. So I reckon that's why it's so important to pace yourself in the early stages of the race, because as soon as you get to that mid-race point, it's make or break. You know, your body's either full of energy because you've paced it well, or you've got absolutely zero energy, which I reckon this lad did. So final time for the row was 4:16, which again could have went a little bit faster. I'm really strong at rowing. 2K time is 6:56, which isn't bad at all. So definitely could have pushed that a little bit more. Going on to the farmers carries, 140 went completely unbroken. If you drop them, you're a bit of a fanny, I've got to say. You've got plenty of chalk there. There's no reason why you should be dropping them. And this is what my coach says as well. But 140, really happy with that. Probably could have shuffled a little bit faster. Then we came on to the 100-meter sandbag lunges, and I got a time of 4:12 there, which is pretty slow. And I knew this one would be a bit of a killer for me. I had a knee surgery last year, and before that, 2 years of not being able to do anything on my left leg. Wasn't able to run, wasn't able to squat, wasn't able to lunge. And the one thing that does still hurt me to this day, a year post-surgery, is them lunges. So I went into it a bit tentative, just trying to go slow, trying to pace myself, not go too fast to piss off the knee. But it didn't actually end up hurting, and I reckon I could have went a lot faster. And then by the end of it, my right leg started absolutely throbbing because it was compensating for the lack of strength on the left leg. So I reckon something I've really got to work on just going forward, maybe going into the next race, is some single leg work, just try and build that left leg up, because I haven't really been doing that, I'll be honest. Something that I really should be doing, especially considering I've got a lot of muscle wastage on that left side. It's building back up just with doing squats, leg press, running, all that type of stuff, but it's nowhere near the strength on my right leg. Still hurts, like I said, doing certain things, so I really should focus these next few months on just trying to build the muscle on there. But then again, probably could have went a little bit faster on the lunges. Finishing off wall balls, 4:20. So again, not a horrible time. I think I've done one big set of 60, then a set of 20, and then another set of 20. Could have pushed them a little bit more, didn't really feel too fatigued. It's weird when you first go on, grab the wall ball, and you always hear that people like stress out and freak out on the wall balls and get loads of no reps. But it is just a bit of a mental thing, I think, because when I first started, got the first rep, missed the second rep, missed the third rep. The ball didn't feel heavy, and I actually ended up going too high, so I wasn't hitting the target because I was going too high, not too low. And I just managed to sort it out, took a few breaths, and then just end up hitting every single one. Probably could have pushed these a little bit more, but I didn't really see the point. I was past the time that I really wanted, which is 65. I was in the 67 mark. Again, for the sake of a few seconds, there was no real point of pushing the wall balls too much and trying to go unbroken, in my opinion. Maybe next time, if I'm really pushing the pace and I've got barely any gas left, I would have really tried on them a bit more, but I didn't really see the point. So wall balls, 420, nothing too crazy. So that's all the runs and stations. Pretty average, if I don't say so myself. I think there's loads and loads to work on. I wouldn't say I'm particularly great anywhere, but I also wouldn't say I'm particularly poor anywhere. Maybe it's apart from walking lunges, but I'm just going to keep on continuing my training. Going to keep trying to improve my strength on all the stations, improve my lower body strength, especially in that left leg, because that was a little bit of a limiting factor, I feel. But then also really make a push to improve and develop my running more, because I feel like if anything is a deciding factor on what determines a great time from an average time, it is the runner. All these guys you see in the upper echelon of Hyrox, I was looking at the results before, all these guys are very strong runners, and it doesn't just come down to how fast you run, although that is a super important aspect, but it's also how well you can maintain them paces, and also how short you can keep your spread times when it comes to running. And your spread time is just the difference in seconds between your first run and your last run, and the shorter you can keep that, the better off you are. Because at the end of the day, if you start off really quick and you get a 3:20 split for your first run, but then by the last run you're sitting at like a 5-minute K split, then you haven't really paced yourself properly. So being a fast runner isn't all there is to it. It's your fitness, and it's also the recovery in between as well. And I feel like these guys who are in the top upper echelons, because they're so comfortable running at high paces, it actually serves as a bit of a rest and a bit of a recovery for their stations. For every single station, you have this weird mental check of yourself, and it's usually after a station like walking lunges or the sled push, where your legs are feeling a little bit like jelly, and you're going through that rock zone and you just feel heavy and you feel like shit and you feel like you can't run fast. And it's this little mental conversation that you have, and it's, do I slow down now or do I just push through? And I promise you, if you are a decent runner and you're pacing yourself properly and you're used to recovering during your running, you've just got to push through it, and you've just got to go out the gates like a battle of hell, because your heart rate will come down at the pace that you've been practicing on. So don't feel like you've got to slow down. Just check yourself, put it to the back of your head, push through the pain, and then around about 100, 200 meters into that run, that's when you start to feel a bit recovered. So yeah, all in all, really fun event. We really enjoyed it. Excited to get another one sorted as soon as possible. I think there's one in Melbourne coming up in September maybe, but the tickets aren't available just yet. So as soon as they come out, I'll be first in line on my computer trying to get them. And yeah, really good time. I think Abby done really well as well. She done a doubles with her mate and she ended up getting 1:14, so 1 hour 14, which is class. So we're both really keen and eager to get on the next one. The event was class, the vibes were good, music was good. Next in line, not too sure. I'm gonna keep training, keep working on my running, keep working on all my individual stations, and hopefully the next thing will be a fight. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep everyone updated. I'm gonna keep doing these vlogs. Hopefully I'll get better in front of the camera. Anyways, here's a few clips of me at the Hyrox, and then later on day 2 in Sydney. So enjoy.